session is focusing on the topic Vcing the VConsol way. The COVID-19 pandemic has transformed how we interact with co-workers and friends. With more people working from home, video conference apps have grown in popularity. VConsol software, for example, was named the best video conferencing software in the Union Electronics and IT Ministry's National Innovation Challenge. Learn more about it from the person who created it. In conversation, we have Mr. Sebastian, CEO, Techgentsia Software Technologies Pvt Limited. Sebastian is the co-founder of this software technologies and the owner of the company that created VConsol software, which was named the best video conferencing software in the Union Electronics and IT Ministry's National Innovation Challenge. We welcome you here, sir.
And I welcome Dr. Manoj A.S, Manoj, Head of PCD&I. Manoj currently works as Head of Programs and Government Operating Unit and former Head Corporate. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And today we have with us Mr. Sebastian. Maybe most of you may aware about Sebastian. And even at least in 2020 to 2022 or 2021, when this COVID pandemic hit us, we started using more video conferencing tools, right? And one of the tool which has been created even from the state of Kerala, that is VConsol, is owned by this gentleman, and he won the award from the Government of India, and it is being called as the Bharat year, that is video conferencing for this Bharat itself. At the same time, right now it is called Kerala Vcing, that is video conferencing tool for officially for Kerala government also. So I have a lot of questions, and even though Joy, welcome to the session, we may have a lot of question answering and interview sessions earlier. Maybe it's a replica, but I have added a couple of new questions. The first question is, how was your journey? And how it becomes so interesting and exuberant, and you have reached here. What is your answer for that?
Thank you, Dr. Manoj, and very good afternoon to everyone who is listening to me. And the question is, how is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said you started in 2009.
Yeah, definitely. Techgentsia, actually, my company, started in 2009. Before that, I was in a company, a startup company. Definitely one of the first product company from Kerala, which was in called Avenir. It was in Kochi. And I started with them. Fortunately, it was a product company, and I was fortunate enough to work on a technology which was maybe in the dial-up era of internet. They were dreaming about something like Webex and Zoom in 2000. And I was fortunate enough to start with that company, and that is my starting point in this technology domain. And when I left the company, it was not me left the company due to everyone may be familiar with the product company's financial struggles and all. So they actually closed down in 2006, and I started after 3 years. Maybe that employer itself, that first employer itself, asked me to start a company in the same domain to develop a product for them. That is what came this much far. And in 2020, we actually made a product for India. Before that, in 2014, we made a product similar. It may not be a product, we can call it a technology platform, which can be white labeled, and that is being white labeled by some of the companies from Europe and US, and they actually selling it from 2014 itself. But we made our showing up only in 2020 due to this India Innovation Challenge by Ministry of Electronics and IT. That is the history.
Okay, great. See, you are an entrepreneur as well as an innovator, maybe as a group. Do you think that innovation is important to become an entrepreneur? Even now, even today, because right now a lot of youngsters are into this innovation.
Everyone may be surprised. From 2009, I am doing video conferencing. What is in it? Some of them actually asked me, what is in it? We were actually dreaming about some technology, which was in 2014, till 2014, the video conferencing domain was actually ruled by hardware technologies. Because video conferencing is not a simple thing to do. You have to grab all the video data from all the participants and take it into a server and mix it real time and pump it back to the client. In all of a sudden, I mean, less than 50 milliseconds. So that was not possible in an era where hardware was not capable of, generic hardware was not capable of doing it. Then it was done by specifically designed graphical chips. So that particular hardware was very costly and it was affordable only to prime ministers and chief ministers at that point of time. So we were dreaming about something. That hardware, if it is possible to replace that hardware with a pure software technology, it will be an innovation and it will be a disruption in the industry. That was I was dreaming, and in 2014 we were able to do that with limited capacity. And during pandemic, of course there is innovation. That innovation made us definitely stay in the field till today, and we are innovating much more to compete with the global giants right now.
Okay, great. So we call it as Bharat VC, Kerala Vcing, and you connect with, started collaborating with Oracle also. So what is your association with Oracle?
They are actually, most of the video conferencing right now is running on cloud. Actually, Government of India doesn't want a cloud-based video conferencing solution. That is why they gone for a challenge. But most of the video conferencing applications are running on cloud right now. In India, there are some strict regulations for video conferencing right now happening. We are actually doing High Court's video conferencing right now. Kerala High Court actually. It is not a video conferencing, but it is a virtual courtroom with the workflows for the judges, court masters, everything defined into the video conferencing. So that is running on a cloud, and we are using Oracle India for that particular stuff. So that is where this relationship happened, and now they are actually promoting us because they can also sell their technology, cloud technology through our platform. That is what is happening. That is the relationship with Oracle right now.
Okay. So as you said, like you started in 2009 with limited people. Now you have grown up to 104 member organization. So how that, that innovation quotient still exists in your organization? Do you have any philosophy or any ingredient in creating that innovation quotient in your organization?
Yeah, definitely there is a problem with attrition and all for every organization. With attrition, we cannot do this kind of long-term research because it needs a great patience, it needs a long persistence in the same technology because it is not that easy to have video conferencing. Even though open source components are there, it is not possible that you can scale and make it an industry-ready platform. So to do that, and of course there are multiple interoperable protocols are there. Starting from the binary at 323 to the newer technology, WebRTC from Google. A lot of interoperable platforms are there. Need to be interoperable in video conferencing. So it is not an easy thing to handle without persisting people in the organization. So my good and best thing with my Techgentsia is my team is sticking along with this technology for 12 years right now. And that may be due to the passion to the technology and their insistence to be a family like Techgentsia be there. They are not, if you look at the industry right now, we are hearing a lot of things happening, agility in the industry. Even though that is happening around, there are world-class engineers working in video conferencing with me. They are staying with me and they are continuing to stay forever. That is what happened.
Okay, great. See, basically, as we have seen a shift even in the behavior pattern or even the way the students think, even right now, most of the students, they are inclined towards innovation and entrepreneurship, and there are a lot of government schemes for that. As an entrepreneur, as an innovator, what are the things which you have to share with these students or the youngsters where they can be the innovators? Because there are plenty of challenges right now. As you said, there are a lot of competitors, but a person who becomes successful, you may have your own ways of doing things. So to them, what is your message?
Maybe I will call myself as an accidental entrepreneur. Not an entrepreneur by, in the terms like what we see in startups right now. I am an accidental entrepreneur, and but the entrepreneurship is now becoming a normal, because when I see the TKM days I had in 1999, we only have a kind of a placement cell there. So they are actually trying to guide us to be a good employee and make us a good employee. Right now, you can see every colleges have IEDC cells and they are making people ready for it. I can tell you a story if you consider me. We have a client from 2014. They are from Norway and they are in the northwest part of Norway. And the city is called Tromsø. And in that city, less than 50,000 people are there. And they are running our video conferencing and giving premium video conferencing service to their community in different forms, of course. Only 50,000 people are there. Our royalty revenue from that particular company, I can tell you the fact, it's around monthly $25,000. So you can see how much India is capable of. So that is where we are. In my panchayat, I am coming from Mararikulam panchayat, which is famous. And that panchayat itself have around 70,000 people residing, where we didn't tap our potential. That is what I want to tell you to these students. And you are very lucky. We are in an era where technology is emerging and empowering you all. So I can tell you, even you do an entrepreneurship in a panchayat like Mararikulam, you can emerge, you can do wonders, and India is going to give you opportunities post-pandemic.
Okay. So basically, if you may have an idea, you start you get into entrepreneurship, you start an enterprise. It's very important that you need a very enthusiastic, innovative team. So how you really augment these skills as well as innovation among your teams?
Definitely, that's a very good question, and it's a strange question, of course. Innovation does not comes with what you call the education that currently we are in. That's a problem. When you look at things, I'm always telling to the students this when they come to meet me in the office. Innovation is nothing that is rocket science. That is what you need to understand. That is something that changes that, what you call it. Say, for example, services, products, the day-to-day activities you are in. You can just think about what change may be attractive to the upcoming generations. You are now dealing with a lot of things. If you are dealing with a hotel, if you are dealing with the shops, small shops, if you look, my next generation will like to do something which is not happening in the shop right now, but if you can just change something, maybe narrow, that is called an innovation. It is not a rocket science. That innovation will change Innovation will add more customers. Innovation will change the perspective. Of course, that is where now people are thinking innovation is something. I always tell the thing of para. തേങ്ങ പൊതിക്കുന്ന പാരയെ പറ്റി ഞാൻ എപ്പോഴും കുട്ടികളോട് പറയാറുണ്ട്. 10 വർഷം മുമ്പ്, I will use Malayalam here because I couldn't make it otherwise. 10 വർഷം മുമ്പ് നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടിലെ പാര ഇപ്പോഴുള്ളതുപോലെ ചെറിയൊരു ലിവറുള്ള പാര ആയിരുന്നില്ല. It was very struggling to എന്താ പറയുക, നമ്മള് ആ തേങ്ങ പൊതിക്കാൻ വീട്ടമ്മമാര് വളരെ സ്ട്രഗിൾ ചെയ്തിരുന്ന സ്ഥലത്ത് നിന്നിട്ട് ഏതോ ഒരു എഞ്ചിനീയർ, I am calling him an engineer. One day he also happened to use that particular thing, struggled with that. He thought if we can make a simple lever for that particular thing, then it became an innovation and it became a normal to every people right now. Ende ammakku pole ipo she is 75 now. Ee liver ulladonde thenga vadikkan pattum. That's an innovation. That kind of innovations you can, but if you look at things in the normal life, day-to-day life, you can see a lot of stuff change with small kind of very small shifting in the normal things you are dealing with right now. That is called innovation. Every innovation can convert to an entrepreneurship right now, and there is a possibility. Technology, of course, you are into a നിങ്ങളിപ്പോൾ മാരാട്ടം പഞ്ചായത്തിനെ മാത്രമല്ല ഡീൽ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. You are going to deal your innovation to the world right now. You can just in a minute you can tell your innovation to the globe. So that is the opportunity you have right now.
Okay, great. Next question. Do you think that this is little bit of a tricky question? Maybe you may have seen this or you may have used this. Do you think that known unknowns and unknown unknowns should be talked or should be considered when you get into this customer satisfaction or customer delight with regard to innovation? So when you innovate something, it is very important that the customer satisfaction or the customer experience is very important.
Yeah.
So whether you have taken into consideration the known unknowns or the unknown unknowns, two things are there.
Okay, that is very very important when it comes to, because when I started talking about, I think in 2015, I started talking about you can do video conferencing purely using software. So people started hearing it, then they looked at me, where are you coming from? I told them I am coming from Cherthala. Then they were thinking about, they were telling or murmuring, oh, in Cherthala it is possible. Is it possible? So whenever we started talking about something that is new, people will start staring at you, because you are not coming from the valley. You are not coming from the California valley, and you are talking about, it's from a, what you call, it's a village kind of info park where I am staying. And you are talking about video conferencing, which is done by Cisco and Polycom right now. And you are telling them it is possible without the Cisco hardware and Polycom hardware. So it is very difficult people to understand. And in only 2020, when I was appearing for the final demonstration of my product and explanation of my product, I got to face with real questions from India about video conferencing. Till then, people were wondering whether it is possible with a small company like Techgentsia. So it is a bit difficult, but we survived, that's all.
Okay. One general question, as you were a student, then you changed from a student or you elevated from a student to an entrepreneur to an innovator. There are plenty of students sitting here. These are all can become the entrepreneurs of tomorrow, innovators of tomorrow. Basically, even though we have changed our education system, a lot of things has been changed. But if I ask you 3 important things which still needs more emphasis and change to become the innovators of the world for this generation, what are the 3 things?
Of Of course, stick to the basics. One. Because without the basics, you are not going to innovate. You are not going to innovate. Second, look around all the things. You cannot do something innovative without knowing what you are going to do or what you are going to innovate. Because I will tell everyone, when you do Facebook and WhatsApp or whatever tools you are familiar with, you need to know what they did so far to make a better product than WhatsApp or Facebook. What they are doing, it is important. If you look at students here, you may be used to Facebook and you are commenting, congratulations. Then stars, flowers will start popping up. And we can tell everyone, wow, it's a very good feature. And when you look at, if you are an engineering student and an aspirant, you need to know how they did it. Other than that, you couldn't innovate. So that is the two important thing. Third, don't stop anything in the mid of something. Because, after only 12 years, Techgentsia go to know to the next door. At least, I'm not telling Techgentsia is known to everyone and everyone knew us, but at least to the next door company. Only because we persisted throughout these 12 years. So, these are the three important advices I want to tell.
Okay. See, there's a cultural shift which usually happens for innovators across the world. Maybe you have implemented this in your organization. But even our youngsters should also should understand, and they should also make the shift. That is, yes, I can do. There's a but which comes to yes, I can do, and what else? So how can you inculcate that culture into the youngsters?
Okay. Once again, can you clarify that?
If you ask something to somebody, even they may say I can do, but there's a problem, and they show some reluctance, especially in these generations we can see. But for an innovator, it is important that yes, but to yes and what else. So that mind change or that shift, how can you bring that culture?
You are saying about something done and then
yes,
what?
Yes.
Okay. That's a question of what do you call it? See, whenever you have a problem in front of you, you are going to do something and solve that issue. Is there a problem? One important thing for innovators is, when you see a problem, you need to ask whether this problem really exists. First of all, really exists in the sense whether others feel that this is a problem, and whether your solution is going to be accepted by anyone outside. Then if there is something that you are getting the answer of that, then after doing what, that question does not exist. Because if you done a solution for a problem, then you have someone else to show. If you see, I am seeing video conferencing from 2000, say for example 2006 or so, I am doing it. Before that, from 2000 I am seeing audio conference. But when I tell this to people, people are not accepting it. When people started using it, that will give an encouragement to me. Now people started talking about Techgensia's video conferencing, that will give more enthusiasm in me. So, whenever you feel some problem is solved, you just try to propagate it and give it to at least to your friends and tell them, I solved this issue by this. If you can use this and solve that problem for you, it will be, then that propagation will happen. Then I think that will be their motivation.
Okay, I have only 2 more questions.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, number one is like when you created this VConsol as a conference platform, there are 2 things. One is about the customer expectations and about the customer experience. How do you match this? Because this is something which is very difficult also, because there are plenty of buyers and competitors, and creating this VConsol as a brand is not easy. even as a startup company. So how do you match this expectation with
Two
experience?
things. Customer expectation is very high because the industry and the global scenario is ruled by the giants right now. Zoom, Google Meet, Microsoft, all are there, and they are adding up features every day, and we are trying to keep the pace up to them, because the challenge is everyone is used to video conferencing right now, and VConsol is coming in, and then people started asking, where is this button? That button is there in Zoom, and you don't have this button here, it is somewhere else. Customer expectations are very high. Of course, the numbers, before the pandemic, video conferencing, we were looking at the statistics of video conferencing every time, and maximum 5-6 people may be using video conferencing in a particular conference. When the pandemic started happening, the numbers in each conference started pumping up. That moves to first to 100, then the demand was very high, then it moves to 500. Now Cisco and Zoom is giving 5,000, 10,000 participants in a meeting. So that expectation, that demand is always there on VConsol too. People want to use VConsol, but they were looking at features that was not there with Zoom or Cisco. When Zoom was 100, people were asking whether VConsol have 1,000 participants availability. If that is there, we will get VConsol in, and we will take out Zoom. And that expectation is very high, very demanding, but we are talking about an era where Zoom may be employing 1,500, 2,000 engineers to engineer that particular product. Google may be engineering 2,000, 3,000 engineers in that. We are employing only 100. And that pace, that is the only limitation I am seeing in VConsol right now to meet the expectations of the client. The R&D in video conferencing is so much, and the new features that is coming with video conferencing is very demanding, and every day they are adding features to keep up that pace. It is not enough engineers we have, and of course the skill is very much important. We cannot get freshers in and employ them. They may give output tomorrow, that is not going to happen. They may be there for at least 1 or 2 years with us. Then only they can start doing something on video conferencing. That's the problem.
Okay, thank you. My last question, as we move from IR 4.0 now slowly to 5.0 and the world of Metaverse. So what's the future plan of Techgentsia as a company?
Metaverse is a bit in the video conferencing domain. What Microsoft Teams was announced, I think 1 year back, 1 or 1.5 years back, was they are coming up with Metaverse enabled video conferencing. But what, in my feeling, video conferencing is all about. Now we are seeing 144p video, and we cannot identify the expressions from video conferencing right now. None of the tools that is running in India that is providing that capability to feel that face expressions, to convey the feeling of the other participants. Metaverse doesn't give that sense, in my understanding. Metaverse is going to place a virtual echo of you inside a video conferencing, and that doesn't mean, I think, anything in video conferencing. If video conferencing need to persist, you need to have 8K video presented on the other side. That requires huge bandwidth. That requires huge network capabilities. So with the 5G and all, I'm not feeling Metaverse is going to change drastically the video conferencing domain. But what is going to change video conferencing domain is the network that is going to come in the name of 5G and other expectations. So that will give you a real feeling what we are feeling right now in the video conferencing, that each and every pixel on your face is important in video conferencing, not your echo in the Metaverse. Your eyes I need to see, your lips I want to see, your nose I want to see how it is going to reflect my talk. That is very important in video conferencing.
Okay, thank you, Joey, for your answers for the questions. I think it was great interacting with you, and a lot of inputs were shared. And any questions from the audience? If you like to ask one or two questions to Joy, a very enterprising entrepreneur, and who is one of the innovator also. If you like to share or ask one or two questions, very fastly we'll take one or two questions. Else we will sign off. Yes.
Hi, it was a great interview and you shared great insights. So the question is like, you are operating out of Info Park Chandala, which is at the remote park, IT park. And your core team is also from, because they are my juniors, from Government Engineering College Idiki. Your core team is from, you have got some members from them. So how do you select people? And what are the qualities that you look at when you are hiring employees? And how do you motivate? Because I have spoken to many of them and they are really motivated working with you. So how do you motivate your employees? So what are the qualities that you look into and how do you motivate to stay with you?
It is a very interesting question. I would like to talk to you after this. Anyway, happen to be they are from ICT Engineering College, the first employees of my company, other than me and two other team members I had when I started the company. They came as an intern to the company actually. They came as an internship program that is offered because in 2009 they came to me due to some personal relationship. They need a project. Actually, they were looking for Android was coming in and they were looking for an Android project. And I told them I have a requirement then. I was then looking for a solution like controlling the desktop with an Android phone. I was searching for something and I was doing hands-on coding for that at that point of time. And they came in for a project. And I asked them whether they can do it. They told me, we will try. If you can tell us how to do, we will try. Because Android was just coming in and Android's capabilities were very less then. And I told them I need a remote control for a PC using my smartphone. That was my requirement. They started developing it and they actually went done partially a POC, less than a POC they did it, and they went back. When I want people after say 1 or 2 months, I called them up whether they want to do a job here because they knew we were 3 or 4 then in the company in 2009. So they came back. They came back with one more guy. He was not in the team when the project was done. And I asked them, I am doing this video conferencing and desktop sharing, screen sharing, that kind of a product I am doing. Whether you want to come across. They told me they will be joining me. They are still with me and they are the directors of the company right now. So that is the story behind this ICT Engineering College. The same is happening every year. Someone want to do internship in the company and I am giving projects. I mean live projects, this kind of small things I want to do or I would like to see in the future in the product. And I am giving projects to them and they are doing something. If they want to join the company after that, they will be joining and continuing with me. That is what is happening so far. Some of the guys, I was listening to the panel discussion earlier, some of the guys were talking about whether it is possible that arts and science students can join a company like ours. I will tell you, I have a story. In 2014, my wife is a school teacher. She actually doing mentoring to more people and she is the IT coordinator in that school. So 2 kids come to me after their +2. They told me a story, like they are passionate about technology. That is what they told me. They love programming. Those are the 2 words they used. I asked them, what do you know right now? They told me I can do PhD programming and MySQL backend. I told them we are not using it because we are into C++, Java, Spring Boot, and all these technologies. So they are okay. They told me, we don't need your job. We want to do something that help us to grow. Please give us some assignments that is not with your company. You don't need to pay us. So after 2-3 months, they came back. All the stuff happening is everyone come to me because I am from a village and I am an entrepreneur in the village. So everyone near my village will come to me and ask me whether there is a possibility of a job there. I ask them to go back and study something and come back. 10%, at least 10% of them come back. These guys came back after 3 months and told me we need to study something. We would like to do game programming. I told them try out Unity 3D because I knew something on that. After 2-3 months, they came up with a game. They developed. They are only +2 guys, and actually they lost in +2, I think. These guys are still with me right now, and they are doing video analytics in the VConsol. And video analytics is for, now we are developing some health domain video conferencing, typically video conferencing in health domain. And they are actually doing something like, from the face expressions, they can evaluate the vitals of a patient. And that kind of analytics they are doing only with the +2 background. So these kind of guys are coming into the company and they are staying back and they are giving me the strength. And of course there is a family bonding is there. Everyone come to the company, they are coming to a family which is telling them to stick on. And they are actually mutually helping us and growing together, and they knew they are growing and they are making a beautiful world-class product. So they are sticking on. That is what is happening.
Okay. Thank you, Joey. Thank you so much. Yeah. We'll wind up. Thank you, audience, for your patience.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the wonderful session. Before winding up, I would like to invite Dr. Manoj sir to give a talk of appreciation